Now to our ongoing series, Running Dry, as Arizona's water future is facing a new challenge. The country's two largest reservoirs have fallen to historic lows.
That could lead to deeper water cuts and create new problems for Arizona's power supply. 12 News journalist Maria Stobbs is here with us in studio to explain.
Mark Ribe, Arizona is already preparing for less Colorado River water, but with Lake Powell and Lake Mead at historic lows, experts say the bigger question is how much water will we have and how will we make up the difference?
The future is one in which the water will be much more limited.
ASU professor Jay Famuleti studies how freshwater availability is changing around the world and here in Arizona.
With a very poor snowpack this past winter means that the water levels in Lake Powell and Lake Mead are lower than almost ever.
That's a problem for Arizona because the Colorado River provides about 36% of the state's water. That water passes through Lake Powell and Lake Mead before reaching Arizona communities. Now, both reservoirs are at historic lows. Lake Mead is just 27% full. Lake Powell is only 23% full.
That will ultimately mean less Colorado River water for us here in Arizona.
The state is already facing proposed water reductions as the federal government works on a new plan for managing the river.
If there's a big cut to that, we'll probably then have to use a lot more groundwater.
Right now, Arizona gets about 40% of its water from groundwater, which is not easily replenished.
Once we use it, it's gone. So we're really impacting the ability of our future generations to have access to water.
The risks go beyond water. Lake Powell also helps generate electricity through Glen Canyon Dam. The reservoir is now only about 30 feet above the level where the dam's turbines could stop producing power.
Once that happens, there's no more power generation. It means we'll lose a lot of power. And that sort of amount of power is difficult to replace on the fly.
So as Lake Powell and Lake Mead continue to drop, the pressure is growing on Arizona and the other Colorado River states to agree on how to divide a shrinking water supply.
That has to be worked out because these are extremely challenging times.
Famuleti says the biggest question now is how Arizona chooses to use what water it has left.
How do we decide how much water to allocate to agriculture, to economic growth, to our data centers? Those are all things that our elected officials have to deal with.
While the 7 Colorado River Basin states have yet to reach an agreement, the Department of Interior says it plans to have new operating guidelines in place by October 1st. In studio, Maria Stobbs, 12 News.
All right, Maria, thank you.